Nigerians have descended heavily on Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde FASHOLA, for blaming former President Olusegun Obasanjo for using Paris Club's $12 billion debt cancellation to pay the nation's creditors rather than using the fund to build roads and rails. FASHOLA had, in an interview on Channels Television, blamed Obasanjo as partly responsible for Nigeria's weak infrastructural base, saying that instead of paying off Nigeria's external debt, the ex-Nigerian leader should have invested in capital projects across the country. According to FASHOLA, previous governments that had access to a lot of money underinvested in the country's infrastructure, saying if he had the 12 billion like the Olusegun Obasanjo government in 2005, he would have built rails and more roads. In 2005 and 2006, the Paris Club wrote off $18 billion or 60% of the $30 billion Nigeria owed the cartel after months of negotiations, a development touted as one of the biggest achievements of the Obasanjo administration. FASHOLA said that rather than deploy the funds prudently, the Obasanjo government decided to pay the country's creditors to the detriment of the country, insisting that today Nigeria has gone back to borrowing because the government in the past ignored investment in infrastructure. Nigerians on Twitter attacked FASHOLA for questioning Obasanjo's ingenuity in using the money to pay creditors. FASHOLA is currently trending on Twitter for the wrong reason. A Twitter user, Otto's Boss, said FASHOLA should hide his face in shame and never speak again. A user, Mukolu Lucas, said the day FASHOLA decided to follow President Buhari, that was when his brain was twisted, saying that instead of now thinking forward, he is now thinking backward. Emeka Anene said FASHOLA should have completed the Lagos Metro line and that instead he folded his arms, blaming Obasanjo. Okay. What is wrong with FASHOLA? The FASHOLA I know doesn't reason like this. My goodness. FASHOLA can't be this daft. From a supposed intellectual, this is nonsense. Someone did his best and got $12 billion cancelled with the belief that the money that would have been used to keep servicing his lofty debt can be channeled into other ventures like provision of infrastructure. The same FASHOLA that promised to fix Nigeria power issue within 6 months. Nothing surprised me anymore from these folks. FASHOLA said Nigerians are disappointed because they are looking for results in the wrong place. Let me also remind him that the federal government controls more than 50% of the resources in the country. It's fair to look up to them. To whom much is given, much is expected. Another disappointment from FASHOLA: if OBJ had used the money to build roads and other infrastructures, would PMB have gotten loans to easily to embark on projects they are doing today, and would things not have been much more difficult for us today? So guys, I don't know, those are the people who really responded on Twitter, but we are going to get to the response of the Nigerian people, from other angle. I don't know whether what he said is right, but from all the indications, it is all about blame. Okay, the question now, you guys have borrowed money. The money that you have borrowed, how far have you gone with the infrastructure? How far have you gone with it? Because if somebody paid off the debt, and because he would have used that money, and again, that's why a lot of people are like, what is really wrong with this man? How many infrastructure do we even have in Lagos, even as it is now? Because if himself, because the Lagos is always boasting of a high IGR. If they have done, we are supposed to have a modern infrastructure in Lagos as we speak. But what do we have? We see a lot of things happening that does not even befit Lagos the way the Lagos itself has really been put up high there. Of course, he tried his best, and that's why people are just like, what is wrong with this FASHOLA? Is it the same FASHOLA they used to know? What is wrong with him? But let's still hear what people are saying, because this whole thing, you just get overwhelmed with some of the statements coming from these so-called people, because all in the name of defending Buhari. I'm really, really sorry. Well, another person is saying here that go and hide your head Mr. 2 portfolio, 6 months I will restore electricity. C, 5 years and still counting. I beg Fashola, clear way. Crazy people, why criticizing Fashola? Fashola know his onion and he believes the good governance which himself has proved why a governor of Lagos State. Hence, he can say the truth about what is happening in Nigeria. All those calling for his head are the people who benefited for the 12 billion naira, $12 billion, and not seeing that opportunity again. Okay, someone say, okay, you think the cancellation of the debt is as a result of people who are not benefiting anything from this government. That means you are a disgrace to your family. You reason like lizard. Only you among the numerous comments reason upside down. It's a pity. Your comment is the most brainless of the year. Okay, somebody are even attacking this particular person so seriously. Obasanjo is the best ever. You are the most whatever, insulting him. And your so-called Fashola liar, 6 months electricity, someone paid Nigeria debt and you are blaming him. All the money Buhari don't borrow, where is the country? Borrow and share within themselves. Oh, Lori Bruku, somebody. Like if they have borrowed the money, it's good they say they borrow, but what have they done? They will say this and this and that. Can we really equate the money being borrowed now to the infrastructure on ground? That's the question. Okay, well, someone says here that Fashola is a lawyer without economic and financial knowledge. What Obasanjo did was right. It is insane to have 50 naira at home. Went outside to borrow 50 naira. Eventually, the 50 naira at home will be used to repay that 50 naira borrowed from outside. If the country creditors were not settled, today you will not be functional as minister because the country will still be servicing debt and your portfolio will have no fund. We have no fund to do what, to be able to do what you are doing now. So Fashola, what are you talking? They say Fashola should pack well. Mr. Fashola, you will pay for it. Blame Obasanjo because of Buhari. You people have destroyed the government. The man Fashola is now dementia. Does he want Nigeria or Nigerians to be in perpetual slaves to their creditors? No, God will not allow this wicked present government to sell Nigeria as slaves. Minister, you fall my hand as I like you. That thing that you take before you went on to Channels television, it's no good for you and it's no good for your body. You better stop taking it. Fashola should tell Nigerians what he did with the funds. Billions of naira allocated to the ministry 4 years ago. No single functioning infrastructure during his 4 years, only failed promises and blaming the past governments. So guys, let's hear your opinion. What do you think about this whole thing? Let's have it in the comment section respectfully. Thank you.